Good afternoon and welcome to our November 2023 Winter Sports Media Day for Griffin Spalding County Schools. My name is Bill Stykes. I'm the District Athletic Director for Griffin Spalding County Schools, and I'm honored to be joined by student athletes and sponsors and coaches from Spalding High and Griffin High winter sports. We'll start today with rifle, and then we'll move to swim, wrestling, flag football, and girls and boys basketball. This is available live streamed on YouTube and also available on demand on YouTube, the Griffin Spalding County Schools webpage. We appreciate the technical support of the technology team at Griffin Spalding County Schools. Our first programs that we're going to highlight today are the rifle teams from Griffin High School and Spalding High School. Joining us today are the head coaches of the rifle teams for Griffin and Spalding. And so we'll start with Coach Hardnett. If you will introduce yourself, tell us the school you represent, and tell us a little bit about your team, please, sir.
My name is Staff Sergeant Retired Christopher Hardnett. I represent Griffin High School Air Rifle Team, sir.
Thank you, Coach Hardnett. And Coach Johnson.
Major Retired Darren Johnson. I'm the coach for Spalding High School. My fifth year coaching the rifle team.
And great. And coaches, we've got a couple questions. We'll start with you, and then we'll move to our student athletes. We'll start first on this question with Coach Johnson, and then Coach Hardnett, if you'll follow up. And that's, tell us what you're most looking forward to about this season, 2023-24 rifle season.
A lot of first-time shooters. This year we have 9 shooters on our team. 6 of those shooters are first-time shooters. So I'm looking build on what our success from last year. We did make the area shoot off, so we're looking forward to that, and just getting in there and get down and teaching these new shooters how to shoot, as well as teaching my older shooters or my shooters that were with me last year how to help coach them.
That's great. That's great. Coach Hardnett, will you tell us what you're most looking forward to?
Yes, sir. I'm most looking forward to building our program, continuing to build our program. We got 2 new shooters, 2 returning shooters, sir. One more thing we're trying to do is get our program out there to the school. Like you said, let students know that there is an air rifle team. We have a lot of hunters in the school, so we're trying to find those guys and girls who may want to come out and help us be more competitive. We're also trying to, with the end goal of make the area shoot-offs and continue to build from there and grow our program, sir.
Well, and before we go to the next question, I want to follow up with that, and either one of you, Major or Sergeant Hardnett, either one of y'all can answer. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what competitive air rifle looks like? I know a lot of people may not even know we offer these programs, so will you tell us what a match looks like, what a practice looks like?
Okay, so competitive air rifle, we usually shoot 3 positions. We shoot a kneeling position, a standing position, and a prone position. And our prone position is laying on your stomach and shooting. Your kneeling position is shooting from one knee, and then your standing position is standing up, which the standing position is the most difficult position it is. But we'll go through a rotation. The way a match is set up, you have 5 shooters from each team, and you can take the top 4 scores, and that's how you get a score. So you have a throwaway, which is good, but a match normally lasts about 15-20 minutes, and then after that, something that we do is a gentleman agreement. And when I say gentleman, it's just a term we use, but we do have female coaches. We have a gentleman agreement after every match. We break bread with other teams.
Our big things is that 5th shooter that the Major spoke of, that gives that person more experience in a match type setting, even though their score may or may not count towards the final standings. That trigger time, as we call it, is what's important, sir. That also adds to maintaining that longevity when it comes to your team and building that team, sir.
Absolutely. And I know you're aware, and I hope everybody listening to us is aware that, this is an Olympic sport, and this is a collegiate sport that's competitive. And I know we've had shooters from Griffin and from Spalding that have shot collegiately. And have moved forward with this sport as well. So I think it's great to, like you said, get the word out and let people know more about it. Let's talk about practice, and so we'll go first to Sergeant Hardnett. If you'll tell us what you're focusing on in practice to prepare for the season, and then Major Johnson, if you'll follow up.
For us, we have 2 returning shooters and 2 brand new freshmen. Right now, we're trying to get them to get the positions down, feet position, foot position, holding the rifle the steady way, using the sling properly, getting in the uniform properly as well, because the uniform is a big piece of it. It's built mainly by Germans. Everything, rifles is mainly German, so that's a big piece of it. We're also trying to get them consistently to come to practice, because we always say you can't get better if you don't practice. The more rounds you shoot down at the target, the better you become. And that's one thing that at Griffin High School we're focusing on right now is getting them in, getting them acclimated to what we do as a rifle team, and then we let them have at it as far as shooting targets. Because that's what they're there for anyway. They're there to put lead on target, so that's what we try to let them do.
There you go. Major Johnson?
Yeah, I focus more on the student athlete, and I always let my athletes know you are a student first. And so my practice consists of homework on Monday, we practice on Tuesday, we practice on Wednesday, we shoot on Thursday, and homework is Friday. So we do an inter competition on Thursday. All right, everybody shoots on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we shoot like a pre-match, like we would shoot a real match on Thursday. And all 9 shooters shoot, and the top 5 shooters kind of advance, and they shoot on Thursday. So you might be the high shooter this week, might not be the high shooter, would fall within the top 5 next week. So it's kind of inner competition to see who goes on and shoots on Thursday.
That's great. Next question is about kind of what you're looking for from student athletes. What makes a student athlete successful at rifle for our coaches? And we'll start with Major Johnson and go to Sergeant Hardnett.
Attention to detail. Everybody thinks that rifle is a hard sport to shoot. Shooting an air rifle, you're shooting at a target from a certain distance. So focus, attention to detail is key. Right? You got trigger squeeze, you got breathing, you got all these fundamentals you're trying to do while you are focusing on the target. So it's all about teaching techniques. And once you teach those techniques, and once those techniques are instilled in our athletes, we tend to get some good results.
Sergeant Hardnett. So just what you're looking for from your student athletes and what makes a successful rifle student athlete. I think those are great points, and I want to let you guys have a second to emphasize kind of the safety aspects of your sport. Anytime we talk about a firearm, I know obviously that can raise some concerns for people, but tell us how these are stored securely. The student athletes go through safety training. Can you briefly talk to us about that?
Questions you asked is what does success look like? A successful season. A successful season to me is safety. That means every student that's under my supervision, when we go to a match, we successfully get there, no injuries, no accidents, we shoot with no injuries, no. So that, success is defined to me as being safe, making sure we get these athletes to and from where they're going to make sure they get home. That's my safety, and my definition is success. I care about the sport, I care about the results, but I have kids that were in high school, and I would want my kids to be, I would want to feel comfortable with coaches with my kids. So safety is key for me.
Perfect.
Safety is a big issue for me as well. Uh, this is my third year at Griffin High School as an air rifle coach, sir. We ever had, knock on wood, no accidental discharges, no injuries. And also another big piece of it, a lot of other schools, they may bring a crowd. We ever had no crowd incidences or anything like that, sir. So that's another plus that helps us out a lot, sir.
Great, great. And then the last question for the coaches, and Major, you kind of alluded to it as well, is how do you define success? You know, as coaches, sometimes it's wins and losses, it's making the area tournament, it's winning a state championship, but for every program, it's different, right? So what would, at the end of the year, when you sit down, what will make you feel this was a successful season? And we'll start with Sergeant Hardnett and then finish with Major.
To end the season on a good note, to continue to build on our team, make sure that everyone shoots well, making sure everyone is like that, like we said earlier, that safety piece, making sure that we continue with no incidents, no injuries, nothing like that. And also, we also want to finish the note, well, for me, we want to make the playoffs.
There you go.
We got to get there. I think if we make the playoffs, that'll be a good morale booster for our kids to compete against those more high-performing schools. Because as you know, we shoot area matches so that we can shoot anywhere from 1A schools to 7A schools. So the competition varies, and I think that's a good thing for the kids to see. And hopefully we can continue to grow our program that way.
Absolutely.
I would say discipline, attention to detail, and routine things. The reason why I say that is when our shooters are on the line, they're responsible for uncasing their weapon. They're responsible for putting the ammunition in their weapon. They're responsible for doing all those safety things. So even though they're out there competing, they're trying to do their best. We want to make sure that attention to detail is always enforced. Talked about how do we secure the weapons and all that, and I wanted to follow up on that. We have a case. We have a what do you call it, CBI. It's a little on-town thing you put in the barrel to make sure no weapons in there. They're always cased. They're always locked. They're double locked. When we travel during cases, nobody uncased their weapon until instructions. We always have a safety briefing. School and get to our designation, we also have a safety briefing. Safety, 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 success for me.
Sounds great. We're going to move now to our student athletes, and so we'll start with Ms. Wright and then go to Mr. Daniel for this first question. And that's real simple. Well, just tell us your name, tell us your grade level, and tell us your favorite firing position.
My name is Cadet Wright, and I'm a sophomore, and my favorite firing position is prone.
Daniel, I'm a junior, and my favorite firing position is actually standing.
That's great. That's great. We're going to talk about you guys as student athletes, right? And so as a shooter, as a student athlete, what are your strengths? And tell us how you use your strength to make the team successful. And we'll start with Cadet Daniel first and then go to Cadet Wright.
Biggest strength with the team is my ability to just kind of stay calm under pressure. And kind of the way that seems to help a lot is you got a lot of stuff going on during a match and during practice. You have a time limit. You have to get your rounds downrange in. And a lot of people, that is kind of overwhelming for them, but I have that ability to just kind of slow everything down in my head and focus on my given task. I feel like that makes me kind of valuable as an athlete.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cadet Wright?
Follow up on Lance Daniel here. I really do understand how he's falling under pressure and everything, and I do the same thing. But mainly the focus that I have is my breathing techniques and understanding of how many rounds I have to get downrange before the timer runs out. And I really do think that with it being a part of the team and everything, it would really help each other to understand how the breathing technique works and different situations to come.
That's great. That's great. Talk to us about practice this year, right? How's practice been, and what is your team focused on improving? Either one of you can go. We'll let y'all pick.
It has been really well this year. We have been mainly focusing on our sight targets and understanding how to work the weapon and how to use it. And we're mainly focusing on all three firing positions, whether that's prone, kneeling, or standing. And this year has really been a lot towards us because we're mainly focused on practice and anything that we can to be able to make area.
I pretty much agree with what Haley said. We've been working a lot on trying to get used to the weapon and everything else, as well as we're really working on aim and breathing as well. Just because those are just really big things, especially your breathing, because just one small breath can move your shot just meters and miss the target completely.
We're going to talk about your teams now, and so we'll start with Cadet Daniel and then go to Wright. If you'll tell us, what is your team's biggest strength and why?
Our biggest strength is probably the camaraderie. Most of the people on the team, even if you are a first-year shooter, you've already known these people. I know myself, I already knew probably at least half the people on the team, and that helps a lot because you already trust a lot of these people and you feel comfortable taking their advice.
Daniel here. I do understand, but it's more of where when you know somebody, it doesn't matter what they're doing. It could really hurt someone within safety ranges. And we have this thing called, but it was something that we do to where we know that the line's safe, there it is. Make the line safe. And we make sure that there's no weapons on the range. And if you know somebody, that does not mean that they're still firing. So we say line safe, and then everyone replies with line safe to make sure that safety is key. Our biggest strength as a team is advice and working together as a team to be able to complete something.
And then I have one quick question for you, too, to wrap up, and then we'll go to our local media. And that's, tell us one thing you've learned from being on the rifle team, and that can be coaches and athletes.
I've learned is my breathing. I've gotten really better with my breathing and my sight targets because I can see really, really well now. And it's actually a lot better with the team because you understand something that you never learned before.
Is that the results that they've gotten so quick, teaching them the breathing techniques, teaching them how to focus, and they've seen results. You know, sometimes when practicing, they don't see immediate results. Because they picked up on all these techniques real quick, and they starting to see results. But I got to keep them humble, because I don't want them to get the big head. But just to see progress from I would say a pretty inexperienced team. You know, like I stated earlier, you know, having 6 new shooters on your team, it's going to be exciting. So I'm just looking.
Sir, I have 2 juniors and 2 freshmen. I love the way that my juniors picked up and took those 2 freshmen under their wings. Like Major said, I'm anxious to see what this season is going to bring as far as results. I think we're going to do pretty well. I'm hoping we do pretty well, but I'm quite sure we are. But I think the fact that those 2 took them under their wing, showed them, like Major said, showed them the positions, showed them the breathing techniques and all that good stuff. We're going to upset some people, I think. Yes, sir.
Mr. Daniel, would you like to?
Actually, the question itself kind of slipped my mind. Can you restate it, please?
Sure. What have you learned from participating in rifle?
Oh, yes. I've learned really how to control stress. Like I said, the timer and everything else, that can get stressful sometimes, especially when you're still shooting and you only got a minute or 2 left. And that ability to control that stress and just get the task in front of you done has kind of helped me both academically and with the rifle team.
That's great. We're now going to see if we have any local media questions. I know our Griffin Daily News representative, Mr. Shivers.
Yes, this question is for Haley. Haley, what you looking forward to the most for this season?
Most for this season is my academics and to learn something that I've never learned before.
The next question is for Lance. Lance, same question. What you looking forward to this season?
I'm mainly looking forward to seeing just how far I can get. Like as I said before, I'm a first-year shooter. I want to see just how well I can actually shoot compared to the other team.
Okay. Next question is for Haley. Haley, do you have any experience in the in this field before this season?
No, I've never had any experience with an air rifle before, but when I came to Major and I asked if I could try out, he said yes, and we did some practices, and it actually went really, really well because I learned more techniques than I knew already, and it was actually really surprising for me to understand this.
Same question for you too, Lance.
I kind of agree with what Haley said. I haven't had much experience. I've had, I mean, all my life I've been hunting, all that kind of thing, but never really any experience with an air rifle. It has definitely a different platform altogether, and a lot more sensitive than a regular rifle and everything else. So it's a little bit of a learning curve, but I'm starting to pick up on it.
This question is for Coach Johnson. Coach Johnson, what's one of the ways you think we can kind of get more attention towards the program in this area? Because like Bill was saying, a lot of people don't know much about rifling. What's some of the things you think we can kind of get the word out about rifling?
This year, getting the parents more involved. Knock on wood, I have 9 shooters and I have 2 managers, and out of those 11 students, 10 parents were there. I had one parent that getting the parents involved, making them understand that rifle is let them know that what these students are doing. Time someone takes time out of their life or their schedule, regardless of what it is important. I had a chance to talk to them, had a meeting to let them know this is important to me. I hope that this is need you to kind of get the word out. Tell grandmother, tell mother, tell uncle, tell granddad. You're all invited to come out and see us compete.
I guess this question is for both of you guys. Is it going to be any local events this year?
Let me go first. For us, Spalding, we shoot at the dungeon. I call it the Dungeon. It's a red building right next to I'm from Griffin. What street is that? The street down the street from Palms. See, is that?
It's up 155 Jackson Road, is that right?
Yes. So it's a big red building. Can't miss it. We'll pass by it and say, but that's where we shoot at. So we shoot our home matches there. We shoot against Griffin twice this year, so we will shoot both of those matches at Griffin. But we have 5 matches at home. Well, actually we have technically, 7 matches because we shoot each other, so we consider those home matches. So we'll have 7 matches at home, and then we'll have 3 matches on the road.
It's same for us, sir, except we have our own indoor range, 10 lanes, so that we can have 5 and 5, 5 students from one school, 5 from another that line up and shoot at the same time. Match usually takes about an hour 20, hour 30 minutes to complete. And once we're done, like Major said earlier, we break bread, get to know each other. Our shooters learn from each other, tips on what they do right, do wrong, and ways to improve.
Okay. Last question. This is for you, Coach Chris. I know you mentioned that one of the goals is to make the playoffs this year. Is the playoffs similar like the other sports? You win region, top 2 teams to win region. That's how you go to the playoffs. How is that format?
Actually, with the area, sir, we have a total of 12 teams. We have an Eastern Division and a Western Division. Since we only have 12 schools total, we're going to have our number 1 team by record shoot against our number 12 team by record. Just like that until we have 6 teams. Top team with the highest score is the number 1 seed out of our area, and they go on. Those top 6 teams go on to our state playoffs, sir.
All right. We appreciate you guys joining us, and appreciate the rifle team from Spalding High School and Griffin High School for joining us today and for spreading the word about the great work you're doing. And the next home match, if you've got the date off the top of your head, will you let us know? Do you know off the top of your head?
We shoot our matches on Thursday, so next Thursday is the 9th, right? Am I
That's correct.
All right, so we shoot against Lamar County on the 9th. And the following week, we shoot against East Coweta. So that will be our first home match.
Got it. November 16th, and that's up by UPS on the red building on the right.
Oh, the Red Dungeon.
The Red Dungeon. All right.
Yes, it's, what do you say here?
Yeah.
It's creepy. They're scared to go in there, but we got to go.
And Sergeant Harden, your first home match,
Our first home match is actually next week on the 9th, sir. We shoot against Mary Persons.
and that's 9th at Griffin High School.
Yes, sir.
Right.
We usually start around 4 or 5 o'clock, depending on how early the school arrives.
We appreciate you guys being here, and we appreciate everybody listening to us on the live stream. We're going to take a brief moment to transition now from rifle into swim. And so I'd like to invite the rifle participants to stand up. We're going to come together for a photo. And as we do that, all the swim coaches and athletes, if you'll join us in this room over to the corner, and we'll give you a brief briefing and then move forward. We're back now and joined by the swim team coaches and student athletes from Spalding and Griffin. And first things we'll do is ask the coaches to please introduce yourself and tell us about the student athletes who are with you today, including their grade level, if you will. And we'll start with Coach Mullins from Griffin.
Afternoon. I am Coach Lorenza Mullins. I am the swim coach for Griffin High School. I have with me today Miss Melissa Ward, which is a senior at Griffin High School, and she is the captain of the girls swim team.
Right. Coach Godat.
Well, I'm Coach Chris Godat from Spalding High School. I'm the head coach over there. And today I have Miss Hannah Burke and Miss Alice Cowden, both of whom are 11th graders.
Great, thank you. Our first question is going to go, first set of questions to the coaches. We'll start this next question with Coach Godat and then Coach Mullins. And that's, coaches, what are you most looking forward to this season?
I'm looking forward to a lot of the new faces I've seen. I've already had about 3 or 4 kids who are 9th graders who want to swim, and I'm looking forward to getting them in the water and having some of my old kind of show them the ropes.
I'm looking for Griffin High School is consistency and perseverance. Our team is actually a small team. However, we do have some newcomers as well, our freshmen. And most of the time when they do join the team, they don't understand how swim can be a little difficult at times. So keeping them motivated to finish the course. So actually having as many as I start with to also end with, if not grow.
That's great. That's great. We're going to start, Coach Mullins, with you, the next question. And that's talk to us about practice for swim, right? How do you structure that? And tell us what you guys work on to get the athletes prepared for the season.
Absolutely. We practice 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Each day has a category. So on Mondays, we're working on techniques. On Wednesdays, we're working on speed. And on Thursdays, we're working on endurance, getting the students to understand the importance of breathing techniques, getting them to understand the importance of their strokes techniques, as well as endurance, keeping them motivated to continue swimming. So those are the 3 things that we focus on during swimming.
Great. Coach Godat, will you tell us about your practice?
What she said. No, but in addition to that, I am blessed to have some older seniors and these 2 ladies as well. My boys, Miles Stansberry, who just know a whole lot about swimming and workouts and techniques and stuff, and they are always so enthusiastic to step up and teach proper technique. Swim really is a technique sport. I mean, there's a lot of endurance is required, but technique, is fundamental with swimming, almost, I think, more than anything else I can almost think of.
That's great, and we'll actually stay with you, Coach Godat. We're asking you what key things you look for this season for your student athletes. Obviously, technique is one of them, but what else do you look for in swim student athletes?
Kind of like I said in cross country, at the end of the day, it's a competition with yourself. And, as Coach Mullins has said as well, looking for consistency and just setting your own goal and improving by the end of the season. If I have most of my students show some sort of improvement or met a goal or consistency, I'm always really happy with that.
Coach Mullins?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, what key things are you looking for this season from your student athletes?
First, being a student before they become the athlete. So making sure the classroom is in order, which is a great thing for our swimmers. The next thing I'm looking for absolutely is some type of progress. Like Coach Godat just stated, swim it's a team sport, however, it's individual. So making sure that we're keeping up with our pace, shaving down some time, and just working hard, progressing through the year.
Great. And our last question for our coaches is about success, right? As coaches, there's a lot of ways that we can define success, right? Sometimes it's results-based, sometimes it's time-based. Sometimes it's a team, we have team goals and individual goals. But as your coaches for your program, I want to know, Coach Mullins, what would be a successful year for Griffin High Swim?
So one of the things that I am hoping for this year is that we have at least some of our swimmers to make it to state. That's actually our goal. We have a swimmer by the name of Mr. Stephen Thompson. He is a second-year swimmer, and he missed it by a couple seconds last year. And he's in his 2nd year, so hopefully getting our students to make it to state this year is definitely a goal for us.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
Yes.
Coach Godat, what would be a success for Spalding High Swim this year?
Follow that up as well, that swim is a sport of seconds, sometimes tenths of seconds. And the qualifying times are pretty rigorous to get to state. Once again, I had Hannah and Miles both did go to state last year, so we'd like to return them there and maybe get some other people kind of getting there as well, or at least inching closer and closer to it. And as I always said, just that the kids grow as well, that they, maybe they can swim without practice. Self-confidence with it. And also just trying some new events too. There's 4 strokes in swim. Everyone defaults to freestyle, but maybe get a kid to do backstroke or butterfly or breaststroke. Kind of branch out.
There you go. There you go. This question is to either of the coaches, and it's just really a background question. Will y'all tell us about how swim in GHSA is structured? Some people may not be familiar with how it's structured. They may be more familiar with like some of our other sports where it's more, teams head to head, and there's a region or area type schedule. But with swim, obviously we know that that's not the case, that it's based on qualification times and things like that. But can y'all briefly talk about how a season's structured and then what would qualify for someone for the state meet?
Okay, yeah. In swim, obviously, you don't go head-to-head with the team. It is scored as a team sport at the meets and at state level, too. It just depends on the amount of points you get for having certain events. But as far as the individual is concerned, Georgia puts out a series of cutoff times to make the state cut. And if you make the cut, you qualify in that stroke. So there really isn't a regional or a semifinal or anything. You just make the state time cut. And sometimes we have swimmers that are good enough, Hannah and Miles, that make it in, I think you can go in 2 as an individual, is that right? And I think 2 in a relay. So, sometimes they'll make it in 4 or 5 events, and they have to choose the 2 that they want to do. But the state swim meet is quite interesting if you want to go. It's up at Georgia Tech every year, and the level of competition is phenomenal.
Yeah, you're right. And I can tell you one thing, that as a non-swimmer, non-competitive swimmer, going to see the state meet, the energy in the building is incredible. And I know when our student athletes go up there, we can't wait for them to get to experience that, all the energy and all the great swimming and all the great athletes competing. Well, we're going to move now to the student athletes and students. Our first question is going to be real simple. Just tell us your name, tell us your grade level, and tell us your favorite stroke or event to swim, okay? And we'll start with Alice and work our way to Hannah and then Melissa, okay?
Hey, hi. My name is Alice Cowden. I'm a junior at Spalding High School. I have been swimming since I was like 8, and when I started high school, I started swimming with the high school. And my favorite stroke is butterfly, I would have to say, because I feel like I'm going the fastest when I'm doing that stroke.
That's great. Hannah?
I'm Hannah Burke, and I'm a junior in high school. I've been swimming for 10 years on a club team called the Seawolves and swimming on the school team for 3 years. And my favorite stroke is probably butterfly or breaststroke, because those are the 2 events that I made to state last year.
Great. Melissa?
Hi, my name is Melissa Ward. I am a senior at Griffin High School. I've been swimming for over 10 years. My favorite stroke has definitely got to be breaststroke.
Great. So this next question will start with Melissa, and we'll go in the reverse order. So Melissa, Hannah, and then Alice, okay? And that's, what are your strengths as a swimmer, okay? And tell us how that strength helps your team be successful.
Some of my strengths are definitely motivating my team and continuing everybody improve, and definitely improving in myself too, and just being there for my team.
That's great. That's great. Hannah, same question.
I think one of my strengths is being a leader to the team when we have to go to meets and do warm-ups, and kind of getting everybody ready to prepare for the races.
Great. Alice?
I also think that one of my strengths is being very inclusive towards like new faces in the swim, and helping out a lot at practices and meets for people that aren't as familiar with swim.
That's great. That's great. Our next question is going to be about practice, okay? And so we'll start with Hannah and then go to Melissa and finish with Alice. And so tell us about swim practice, how your practices have gone so far this season, what you're trying to improve on as an individual swimmer.
We actually haven't started practice for this season yet. It starts next week. So, but last year they were really good. They were written by Miles, our team captain, and he really knows what he's doing. So he knows how to write the sets and to get the swimmers going.
That's great. Melissa, tell us about practice, how you practice and what you want to work on in practice coming up.
Practice have definitely been good so far. I've definitely improved since I started. I've seen my other teammates have improved since they've started, and I think this season is going good so far.
Great, great, great. Alice, tell us about how practices go for you, what you like about them, and kind of what you want to work on coming up in the next few weeks.
I like the practices most because it gives a lot of opportunity to bond with the team and also like help each other out with because everybody has their strengths within swimming. There's definitely not a person that's good at all the strokes, and there's always stuff to hear from other people.
That's great. And we have, I've got one more question, then we'll go to our local media members. And this question will start with Melissa, then go to Hannah, and finish with Alice. And that's about your team as a whole. What's the biggest strength, Melissa, of the Griffin High swim team?
Our biggest strength is team motivation, making sure everybody pushes each other to finish what they're doing, just to increase their ability to be able to be a leader for themselves and for the team and to improve in their swimming.
That's great. So, Hannah, what is Spalding Swim's biggest strength?
I think one of our biggest strengths is that we all encourage each other in whatever we're doing, and everybody is really encouraging. I don't know how to word that.
Hey, that you did great. That's right. Alice, tell us, what is Spalding's biggest strength as a swim team?
I'm going to go off kind of what Hannah said, and also at the meets, just everybody cheers for everybody and congratulates them afterwards. So really just encouraging people to do better.
Great, great. Now we'll go to our local media members. Mr. Sivers?
Okay, I'll start with Melissa. Melissa, how does it feel being a team captain this year? And can you go into detail about some of your leadership skills?
I'm excited to be team captain this year, girls team captain. I think it's really going to help me improve my leadership skills from when I go do bigger and better things. It really, during practices when you're motivating your team as a captain to do better, they want to do better because they see somebody that's higher than them in leadership skills, motivate them so they want to do better. So I think that's going to be good for my team this year.
Okay. Next question is for Hannah. Congratulations on making the state last year.
Thank you.
What are some of the things you worked on this summer so you can kind of repeat going back to state?
I worked out with my club team all summer and all year round, and I just keep on trying to improve my strokes and my times so that I will move higher up in the ranking this year for the finals at state.
Alice, what are you looking forward to most this season?
Mostly I'm looking forward to, like I said, getting to know the new swimmers and building a good environment for the swimmers so they want to come back next year and continue.
Okay. I guess this question will be for both coaches. Do you guys have any local matches coming up soon, or when does the season actually start?
Starting November the 17th, we're actually going to the same meet, which is in Conyers, Georgia. No, is it Hamilton? Harris County. We don't have any local meets because right now we do not have an aquatic center. However, we have one coming. So, and we're, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's supposed to start opening in February. So we're looking forward to having the actual aquatic center here in Griffin for us to start hosting our own meets. But right now we do venture out to other counties such as Conyers. We're going to Macon, Georgia. So those are the most nearest ones that we do have.
Follow up. I think it was March 1st. I thought I saw on the paper, or was it end of February? So we're really looking forward to the aquatic center. being open. That's kind of a long time coming. We won't get it this season, but next year, when you ladies are seniors, you'll get to practice at the aquatic center, which I think will be refreshing.
Yeah, I know we're all excited as a district, and all the swim athletes are, because you guys have gone all over the state looking for competitions and gone in many different pools all over looking for practices as well. And so it's just a testament to your character and to your perseverance. And
Yeah, they had to close that pool underneath the Spalding High gym.
yeah,
That we tell. You have one too?
I heard it was on the roof at Griffin.
I was on the
Is
roof.
that-
Okay.
Yeah, by the elevator.
But we're still
ticket,
looking
is that
for
right?
it. So when you find it, let us know.
Well, hey, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. One thing that stuck out to me listening to all of you is the positive environment that surrounds swim, and I know that's something that is encouraging to all of us. So we definitely want to encourage anybody that wants to get involved to get in touch with you and to watch your meets and to watch your matches and to cheer for these student athletes, because like y'all said, they put a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of hard work, a lot of hours in the pool and out of the pool to prep for going in the pool. And so know that the district supports you guys, and we're proud of y'all, and I know our community does too. And we can't wait to see you guys, and we hope to be cheering for some of us in that state meet coming up, and that'll be in February, right? Is it still at Georgia Tech? Is that where it is this year? So thank you guys. We appreciate the swim student athletes. And we'll have a picture. As we transition now, we're going to go to wrestling. So we ask the wrestling coaches and student athletes to come to this room up here, and we'll get a brief briefing. We'll have a picture of the swim athletes and coaches, and then we'll move to wrestling. If y'all come right here in the middle, we'll get a picture of y'all. We're going to be joined now by the wrestling teams from Griffin High School and Spalding High School. We're excited to have our wrestling programs here to speak with us about their upcoming seasons. First set of questions will go to their coaches. And coaches, if you can please introduce yourselves and the student athletes you brought with you today, including their grade level. And we'll start with Coach Ogletree and then go to Coach Hoffman.
I'm Coach Ogletree. This will be my third year coaching wrestling at Griffin High School. I have Mr. Caleb Broadness with me. He's a 12th grader. This will be his first year wrestling with me, but he has a lot of wrestling experience. I have Miss Alexis Johnson with me. She's in the 11th grade, and this will be her first year wrestling.
My name's Tyler Hoffman. I'm the head coach over at Spalding High. I've got Mekhi Lassiter. He's an 11th grader. This will be his third year. And Uriel Acevedo, he's an 11th grader as well, and this will be his third year as well.
Great. Coaches, first set of questions will go to you. We'll start with Coach Hoffman and then go to Coach Ogletree for this first question. Talk to us about this season. What are you most looking forward to this season?
We're still a relatively young program, so for me it's just watching these guys gain more and more experience and just fall in love with the sport even more and get better throughout as the season goes on.
The biggest thing I'm looking for this season is participation. This year I will have a female team for the first time, so I'm really looking forward to that. The numbers are growing. I went from having 4 wrestlers to now having 20 to 25. So I'm actually looking forward to the season to see how we compete and if we can have a run at the region and state.
That's great. And this question isn't in here, but I'm going to throw a curveball to y'all. And that's where you just let everybody know kind of how wrestling is structured in Georgia. So I know we've got now a new girls division and a boys division, but we've kind of got 2 different sets of playoffs and championships, right? And can y'all tell us kind of how the duels are structured and then also how the traditional wrestling is structured? And either one of y'all can answer that.
So your dual meets, wrestling is predominantly an independent individual sport. So when you go into those bigger tournaments, you've got your regionals, your sectionals, and if you qualify in the tops of those, you move on. So you have to finish top 4 in your regionals to move on to your sectionals, top 4 in your sectionals to move on to the state tournament. So the quality that you, as you move on, just continues to grow. Your dual meets is where it becomes a team aspect. It now falls into points. They do have, the regionals, the regional team duels, sectional team duels, and state team duels. So it's probably the only sport really in high school where it's just you. You're not going. If you win, it's because you won, because you did what you were supposed to. If you lose, it's because you made the mistake. There's no one else really that you can fall back on to say, hey, why didn't you do better? And I think that's probably the one thing that I love most about this sport is that it's you versus another competitor, and the better I do, the better my competitor is going to be that next time. And as far as those tournaments, it's one of the only sports where you're going to see somebody stand on a podium victorious, or you're going to see, I always compare it to gladiators in an arena. If you ever go to the state tournament, they're running 12 and 14 mats in the middle of a room with fans all around, watching two people go at it in the middle of a mat. And there's just really nothing like it. So
that's great. Coach Ogletree, you got anything to add?
No, sir. I think he got everything.
Hey, that's right. Well, you're right. That's definitely, you can't hide once you get in the circle, right? It's just you and that other person, and you either go win or you go lose, and you go live with that. I think that's something that, especially in today's environment, is great for our young people to learn, that accountability piece and that standing up, that it's me. Either I win or I lose, and it's up to how I do. So to prep those kids for that, let's talk about practice. How do you prepare? We'll start with Coach Ogletree, then go to Coach Hoffman. How do you prepare student athletes, even in today's time, to get ready to walk in that circle and shake hands and then go one-on-one with somebody else? And you either get pinned, they pin you, or you run the timeout and it goes on points. How do you prep them mentally and physically for that?
Well, first, endurance, right, is the biggest key in wrestling. So endurance, as far as endurance, we have them on the mat, we have them in the gym, we have them in the cafeteria. As far as conditioning, teaching the basic techniques of wrestling, just getting you mentally ready for what you're going to see once you get inside that circle. Basically, that conditioning is going to get you mentally tough anyway. So it's like it adds on top of each other. So once you get the condition and you're in shape, your mind, it'll follow right behind it. Your mind do what the body tell you to do. I think I said that right. Did I say that right? But it's a mind thing. Wrestling, it's like inside that circle. It's a long 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So you got to prepare for that.
So Coach Hoffman, tell us, how do you prepare student athletes, right, to do that? To compete?
I'm right there with him. I agree. This sport will put you in the best shape of your life. I promise you that. The other aspect of it, and something I'm to a point now with the team that I have, I've actually got kids who are cutting weight. I got kids who, a guy over here weighing 190 last year, and he's looking at me going, Coach, I'm going to cut to 170. And that's a good idea, but he's also a high school kid who likes to eat. So there's a whole other aspect of it, You add that into just the mental toughness you have to put your body through the punishment that it's going to go through for the hour and a half of practice, and then that time you have on the mat. As much as we say you can prepare for it, there ain't no preparing for it. You just kind of hope for the best, if I'm being honest. So, and to be honest with you, I tell my guys at any of my meetings, before we even start in the season and I do a team meeting, I tell them, I'm like, listen, this is not one of them sports, like, you're going to get a broke finger, you're going to get a bloody nose, you're going to have a black eye. Those things happen. That's part of this sport. And if that's a problem, this ain't the sport for you. But those kids that stick with it, I promise you they're a lot mentally tougher than most of the kids around. So.
Well, I think both of you guys have mentioned mental toughness. So we're going to go with Coach Hoffman and then Coach Ogletree for this next question. You look obviously for mental toughness, but what else do you look for in your student athletes? What are those key things that you want to see from your kids this season to show they're progressing and learning?
For me, I kind of look at, I want a kid who he's humble the whole time. He's humble when he loses, and he's humble when he wins. I don't want his demeanor to change from either one. I harp on that with them. This is not a sport where you walk in and you can be the best athlete in the room and be the worst wrestler. It's kids that when they lose and with that shows me that as a wrestler he's progressing. He's starting to understand that I'm not always going to be perfect. That for me is shows me the biggest growth in a wrestler.
Coach Ogletree, same question. What are those key aspects? What are those key things you look for student athletes?
I'm looking for, are you making the same mistakes? Are you trying to correct it? I'm looking for how are you treating your teammates that are around you? I'm looking at how are we keeping our house, like are we keeping it clean? Are you leaving stuff everywhere? I'm just looking at how you treat everything around you that doesn't matter at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at how is your character. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for high character kids. So your character gonna show you everything that you need to know about a kid. So I'm looking for kids who can lead, who can stay mentally tough, and who can correct their mistakes that they make as they make them.
That's great. We got one more question for both coaches. We'll start with Coach Ogletree and finish with Coach Hoffman, and that's success, right? As coaches, there's a lot of ways we can define success. It can be on the mat. It can be as a team. It can be how far we progress or how many kids we qualify to get down into the Macon Coliseum at that state meet traditional. But tell us, what is success? And so, Coach Ogletree, what does a successful Griffin High wrestling season look like? Is it wins and losses? Is it progression? What is it to you?
A successful season this season, I'm not going to lie, wins will be this season because I'm looking to get wins because we're going to have a full team, so I'm looking to compete. And I think I have a team full of men and women that can compete. What else I'm looking for? I'm looking for want to. I'm looking for can they get out there and can they recruit more kids to get out there. I'm looking for just grades. They got to have good grades at the top of their class. You just trying to get somewhere after high school. That's what I'm looking for. That's the type of success I'm chasing after.
Hey, that's great success that we are hopeful for you to have and know you'll keep pushing them. Coach Hoffman, talk about you. What does a successful Spalding wrestling season look like?
I'm kind of in the same boat he is. Taking this over, it was still, I got a lot of kids that are still raw and kind of new to it. So for me, it's, are we transitioning from, are my kids and getting better every day? Are we winning matches we're supposed to win? Are we staying in the shape that we're supposed to be in? Are we doing the things we're supposed to be doing? And that's not, like he said, not just on the mat, but in the classroom as well. And with this sport, I mean, I'm kind of like he is. I started off the first year, I think we had 7 kids. And I think this year I'm at 31, and then I've got a handful of girls that have come out. So the sport is growing, which is great. But are those new kids coming in? Are they learning from the older kids? And are those kids transitioning and taking what they're being taught and utilizing it on the mat? If I can see progression from everybody on the mat, then for me, we've accomplished what we've set out to.
That's great. Coaches, appreciate y'all. Right now, we're going to go to the student athletes, ask them a series of questions. So we're going to start with Alexis and work our way down to Caleb, then Makai, then Uriel. First question is easy. Tell us your name and your grade level, and tell me why you want to be on the wrestling team, why you like wrestling.
My name is Alexis Johnson. I am a junior. The reason why I want to be on the wrestling team is because it helps my whole overall body, mental state, everything. The way I think, the way I strategize, it helps me every day.
Good afternoon. My name is Caleb Broadnax. I'm a senior at Griffin High School. The reason I want to be a wrestler is not just for the discipline, but mostly because a lot of days, at least nowadays, nobody has that mental toughness to stand on that mat in front of somebody, you and one other person, and whoever's looking at those gym lights loses. Nobody. Not a lot of people in my age group, not a lot of people in high school, or even middle school, because you can start wrestling in. Nobody's thinking about that individual mental toughness that you need to have, where you can't always lean back on your team, where you can't blame your losses on a teammate that's falling behind. All your wins and your losses is on you and only you.
That's great, Caleb. Makai, go ahead, tell us your name, your grade level, and why you wrestle, why you want to wrestle.
My name is Makai Laster. I am in 11th grade. I like wrestling because it's like an outlet to me. I've been doing it for the past 2 years. This is my third year. I've progressed a lot throughout the 2 years I wrestled. I'm grateful for wrestling. It got me tougher emotionally and mentally. It's been great 2 past seasons, and I'm looking to go forward to state this year.
Great. Muriel?
Good afternoon. My name is Yadiel Acevedo. I'm in 11th grade. And I like wrestling because, when I first started, I thought I wasn't going to do that good. And then after a while, I started getting really good, picking up real fast. I've been doing it for 2 years. This will be my second year doing it. I started my first year, and I got really good, and I motivated some people around me to, try to do it this year. So I hope to see them come out, see if they like it. If they don't like it, then, that's it.
Great. That's great. This next set of questions, we're going to go in the reverse order. So Uriel, Makai, Caleb, and Alexis. And that's about your strengths as a wrestler, right? What do you think your strengths are as a wrestler or as an athlete, and how do those make your team successful?
Well, I think my strengths as a wrestler is, I can speak multiple languages. So if there's a language barrier that, the coach might not be able to communicate with, I can come in and kind of explain it to the kids. And overall, I like to wrestle with everybody. You can ask Makai. I wrestle with the big guys, small guys, it doesn't matter. And it's just the ability that I can learn real fast, and I can show it to other people.
Right. Makai, same question. Strengths.
My strength as a wrestler, I'm able to encourage people. I have a strong, stable lower body, which helps me during wrestling matches. My mental toughness has gotten better, so I'm able to stay calm under pressure and not do anything hasty. And, yeah.
Great. Caleb, what your strengths as a wrestler and how that makes your team successful?
I believe my strengths as a wrestler is grit, and I don't like to quit. I don't like quitting. You take me down, I'm looking to get back up and take you down. I need my get back. More of my strengths as a wrestler is helping my teammates wherever I can. If it's a situation they don't understand, helping them get through it. If it's a move they don't exactly understand, breaking it down into its finer details to help them get through it. And I'm not scared to wrestle anybody. The only person that scared me is me out there, because I'm the only person responsible for my loss.
Great. Alexis, same question, right? What are your strengths as an athlete, as a wrestler, and how do you want to use those to make your team successful?
My strengths as a wrestler is being able to see everyone's point of view, being able to grow. I'm able to open up my mindset to see where other people are coming from so I can learn as a wrestler as well. Well, that's the seniors and everything. Actually being able to grow, and when the matches come, being able to win or even at least hold my ground while being out there.
That's great. Same question for Uriel and then Makai, if you'll finish this up. Tell us how practice has been or how practice goes for you, and then as an individual, what you want to improve.
So practice for me, for us, we start with a little bit of running around in a circle, stretching, all that. Then we do shot drills, and then we just drill moves. Like he teaches you escapes and stuff like that. And then for me, what I'm trying to improve the most is on just getting better, overall. If I have a weakness here, I want to fix that. And then if I have another weakness here, work around it to kind of get better at it.
So, like Uriel said, we start with conditioning. Then after that, we start stretching. Then after that, we start drills. We drill those moves until we can perfect them. Then we practice mock wrestles, and to see where we at. And as far as improvements, I'm trying to get my endurance better and my physical prowess to get better.
This last question, we're going to start with Makai and then go Uriel and then finish up with Caleb and Alexis. And so it's about your team, right? We know wrestling is an individual sport, but there's a team aspect, right? So tell us about your teammates. What is the biggest strength of your team? So Makai, tell us what's y'all's team's biggest strength.
Our team's biggest strength is probably discipline, because we have to be disciplined to stay together and not get frustrated over like little small things, and come together and encourage each other to do better. So I would say that's our biggest strength.
Uriel?
For me, our team's biggest strength has to be like attendance, like how many people show up, like if they consistently show up. We always have like a large group showing up every day. And also like how they motivate each other to do better at every practice. They're not like bringing each other down. You know, they're always like, hey, you can do this to get better at this and stuff like that.
All right. Alexis and Caleb, your team's biggest strengths. Either one.
Our team's biggest strength is actually having the ability to grow, because we're a lot of people that's been in wrestling so far is newbies, like first years, and having the seniors here that actually help us a lot with the moves and just keeping us motivated to keep on going.
One of our team's biggest strengths is being willing to learn, being willing to take critiques. Also, motivating each other to come back into the room, because a lot of people, they step on that mat, especially if they're new, and they feel like they're alone. They don't have any friends on that mat. Sometimes you look at some of the other guys, you may get scared, you're not exactly sure. So us coming together, motivating each other to get back in the room, stay on the mat, and stay out of trouble.
That's great. That's great. We're going to take some local media questions.
Yes, first question is for Alexis. Alexis, I know this is your first year wrestling. Can you go into some of the challenges you might have had in this first year and how you overcame them?
My challenges as being a first-year wrestler is actually seeing how my other teammates are actually better than me, and actually seeing that, oh, I want to be there with them. Actually being able to get on the mat and fall and get back up, and actually just seeing that I want to grow, my mentality and my strategization, if I said that right.
Good job. Next question is for Caleb. Caleb, I know this is your first year wrestling, but I can tell by the way you talk, you're very passionate about the sport. Do you see yourself wrestling in the near future, maybe college level, if the opportunity presents itself?
The opportunity presents itself, yes, but my initial motivation to get into wrestling was I wanted to pursue a career in mixed martial arts. See if I can get in one of the big ones, one championship, Bellator, UFC, preferably UFC. Second year wrestling. I wrestled a year, my sophomore year at Stevenson High School, up until we moved out to Griffin. Then I took a year to focus on academics and work, which gave me a little bit of mat rust, but the young ones is bringing me back.
Awesome, man. Next question is for Coach Tree. I know you got a bubbly personality, but what would you say the main reason the program was able to grow over time from 4 to 27, I think you said?
I was in them halls recruiting hard, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. But honestly, this year, what really kicked off this year was I got help this year. So Coach Michael Terry, he been out in the hallways recruiting with me. So he grabbing people, I'm grabbing people, and they actually coming out. That's the crazy part. So I'm happy that they're interested in participating, and I'm taking anybody who willing to come out there and work with me.
Awesome, Coach. Keep it up. Next question is for Coach Hoffman. Coach Hoffman, what are some of the things you're looking forward to this year? And can you just go into detail about the girls program? I know it's the first year with the girls, and how big of an adjustment they've been for you.
This year I'm really looking forward. I had one that made it to the state tournament last year, and this year I've got 3 or 4 that have the ability. Now again, that is solely on them. My wrestling days are over. These need allow me to do much of that anymore. And then as far as the girls team go, it's really new to me. I've been around this sport my whole life. And 2 years ago, you know, I go to the state tournament every chance I get, even when I wasn't coaching. So 2 years ago, I go down there, and there's a whole bracket. And then last year, our region actually had the largest girls bracket in the state. I think there were something like 150 girls in our bracket in just our region. So for me, it's a new thing, but I'm really excited about it, because like with the guys, you know, it's that mental toughness and that really learning more about yourself in this sport. And I think with everything nowadays, especially, I mean, everybody needs that. So it's also new to me because now I'm having to try to teach it in a different way. Just because the personalities are so different. There are things there's ways I can teach it to them that I can't teach it with the girls. So that right there has probably been the biggest hiccup, but it's also, I've learned a lot sitting down trying to formulate practice schedules and everything like that with it as well. So I'm really excited about it. I didn't think I was going to have any girls come out this year, and they keep coming. I had like 3 ask me today, so.
Thank you, Coach. Next question is for Malachi. Malachi, with you being a dual sport athlete, I know you play football as well. How does playing football translate to wrestling?
Football translates to wrestling pretty good, but football and wrestling shape are 2 different things. So I have to really get into wrestling shape to really be able to wrestle. But football has helped with some endurance, doing a lot of cardios, getting drilled, cardio every day, have to strain myself, have to go all the way 100%. And that has built on my wrestling skills and progression, which has allowed me to be able to qualify for state this year. So I'm good with that. I'm great with that.
Last question is for Euro. Euro, what would you say your go-to move? Your go-to wrestling move?
Oh, my go-to move? Ooh. So this one I've been practicing at a jiu-jitsu place. It's called the chicken wing. It's a really painful move because I like to do it on the people that have messed up shoulders, and it works really well. But I feel like I can also do it on people that don't have messed up shoulders. And it's a move that if you get caught off guard by it, there's no way of escaping it, pretty much. That's really my to-go move. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, we appreciate the wrestling teams from Griffin and Spalding. You guys have taught us a lot about the sport, right, and emphasized those qualities that you guys focused on, right, that individual toughness, that mental toughness, and appreciate y'all, and we wish you the best of luck this year and can't wait to watch you in the gyms and on the mats. We're looking for success from both of y'all. So now we're going to have you guys come out front. We're going to take a picture of you guys. And while we do that, if our flag football teams and coaches will head in this room right here, let's hear it for our wrestling teams. Y'all come right here, flag football. We are now joined by our flag football teams from Griffin and Spalding High School. Flag football is an exciting, relatively new sport to the state of Georgia. It's only been around for a couple years, and we are excited about our programs here. We're joined by Griffin and by Spalding, and we'll start first with the coaches. Our first question will be for our first few questions will be for them, then for the student athletes, and then for our local media, we'll ask some questions. And so we'll start first with coaches. If you'll tell us your name and tell us the student athletes you brought with you today with their position and grade level. We'll start with Griffin and then go to Spalding.
Coach Blunt, I'm the coach of the flag football team. I have Hariana Mays, senior, Isaiah Maddox, sophomore, and Michaela Colquitt, freshman.
Go ahead, Coach Powell. Go ahead. Yep.
Good afternoon. I'm Coach Powell from Spalding High School flag football team. To my left, I have my three players with me. I have Kamari Barkley. She's a junior. She plays wide receiver. Kayla Barrett, a junior, plays middle linebacker. We also have Makai Fonfield, who's our quarterback, and she also is a junior.
Great, Coach. We'll start with Coach Blunt for this first question, then go to Coach Powell. And tell us about this season. I know it's a couple weeks in, right? But what are you looking forward to as you really move into the brunt of your area schedule? What are you looking forward to as we move forward?
I'm most looking forward to the girls showcasing their skills. They've been working hard since the spring to be better in the weight room, in the classroom, and on the field. So we're just looking to put that all together and come out with some wins.
Coach Powell, what about you? What are you looking forward to as we move through these next couple of weeks?
As we move into our, as you said, the region play, we've had a few games that was outside of the region, and that kind of honed our skills. And as we move into try to, to improve on our record, also get the girls a little bit more skilled in their positions. And as we head into the playoffs, hopefully we can make a playoff run at the end of the season.
Great. This next question, we'll start with Coach Powell and go to Coach Blunt. Tell us about practice, right? What are you working on in practice? You're now in the middle of your season, so what are you working on in practice to prep for your games this week and next?
Well, one of the good things that helped us out over the summer, we was able to join a summer league and build on some of the plays down, plays, and be able to execute them on the field as well. Go forward in the season as we continue to play.
Great. Coach Blunt, tell us, what are you working on in practice to prep for these next couple weeks?
We've been mostly working on our defense. I just go by the old motto, defense wins game.
There you go. That's right. Let's talk about, we'll go to Coach Blunt next and then Coach Powell. What are you looking for? What key things do you look for in your student athletes to make them successful flag football players?
For execution of our plays, of basically everything that I ask them to do, make sure they're well disciplined on and out the field, so they have to just execute everything that I'm asking of them.
Coach Powell, what about you? What are you looking for? Student athlete?
I'm looking for the student as a student, scholar, athlete, kind of in that order. The bill.
Right. Student athletes first for all of us, I know. That's great. Glad you pointed that out. Let's talk about success, right? As coaches, we define success in a lot of different ways, right? It can be wins and losses. It can be growth, in terms of student athletes or as a team. It can be meeting our goals, whatever they are. But tell us, what would success look like this season for Spalding High Flag football, Coach Powell?
See at Spalding High.
Great. Coach Blunt, talk to us about success. What is a successful season? At the end of it, when you look back, what do you want to see to have a successful flag season?
Well, right now, I feel like we've already surpassed our expectations this season. We can only get better from here. But I'm most looking forward to potentially having our senior go on to play at the collegiate level.
That's great. That's great. And, you know, a lot of folks aren't even aware that, you know, flag football now is a competitive intercollegiate sport, especially with the NAIA. There are scholarships available, and I know the Atlanta Falcons Foundation does a great job of helping student athletes get recruited. So we definitely want our potential flag football athletes to know that they can come here, and this is an avenue to get to the next level. We're going to now go to our student athletes, right? And this first one is going to be easy for you. All you got to do is tell us your name, your primary position you play, and your grade level. Let's start with Mikhail and work our way down.
Name Mikala Colquitt. I'm a freshman and I'm a QB.
My name is Laziah Maddox. I'm a wide receiver and safety, and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Hariana Mays. I play QB, wide receiver, DB, and a corner. I mean, a safety.
Kamari, we'll go with you and go straight down.
My name is Kumari, and I play wide receiver, and I'm a junior.
Kayla?
My name is Kayla Barrett. I play middle linebacker, and I am a junior.
My name is Makai Fonfield. I play quarterback, and I'm a junior.
Great. And we're going to actually do the reverse order. So we'll start with Makai and work all the way down to Michaela for this next question. And that's about you individually, okay? So think about your strengths as a player and how do those help make your team successful. So Makai?
Well, as a strength as a player, I know I can, as a quarterback, I can read the field more, and I can see how we could change the offense to try to execute the plays more and get a touchdown. And ways that can help the team is probably mostly like my speed as well as passing the ball, trying to do more in passing the ball.
That's great. Kayla?
My strength as a player is communication on the field. I help the team see what they don't see on the field.
Maury?
My strength is running down the field and catching the ball so that we can get a touchdown.
Great. Haryana?
As players is my leadership and paying attention to the details. My leadership because I'm the oldest on the team, so like people look up to me for certain situations, and paying attention to the details. So if somebody missed something, I can just go for them and I can just lead them through the way. And everything.
That's great. Isaiah?
Mental toughness and agility skills. I say mental toughness because you're going to have some bad plays and times where you're losing, and you just have to think to yourself that, oh, we got this and we're going to figure it out. And agility skills, you have to have skill to do sports regardless. Either running, jumping, or running route. Doing your part and giving your team 110% every time is going to help us be successful.
I say my techniques and my good mindset. When I mean the technique, my abilities, like my footwork and my arm, I know I can throw it long in a second. When I say mindset, like keeping my mind in the game, even if we losing, like don't off track it. Like keep going no matter what's going on in the game.
Great. That's great. On this next question, we're going to start with Haryana and work our way down, and then on the Spalding side, Kamari, and work our way down, okay? And that's about practice, how practice has gone this season. And so the question is, how has practice been this season, and what are you focused on improving? Haryana?
That's been great this season, and I'm focusing on like bringing what I do from the weight room and my confidence and bring it on the field.
Great. Messiah?
Practice has been good so far. I'm focusing on improving my route running and defensive skills.
Me, as a freshman, practice has been intense because it is my first time being a QB. I had to learn everything on the field, their positions, the routes they were running, and more. And on the field, I'm learning how to be like a leader. And being a freshman is hard to be a leader because everyone look down to you.
That's great. Kamari, same question. How's practice been this season, and what are you focused on improving?
Practice has been good, but it's also been challenging. Challenging. What's the question?
Well, just how, what are y'all focused on improving? Tell us what you're improving as an individual or your team.
We improve to do what we know best on the field in order to win.
That's great. Great. Kayla?
Say the question again.
Sure. So tell us about practice. How's practice been so far this season? What are you focused on improving?
Practice have been good so far. We go 110 on the field at all times, and we're working to improve our offense.
That's great. Okay.
We had some really challenging times on the field, but those challenging times have helped us improve on actual games and helped us win games as well, and also try to stop the other team from winning.
That's great. So this next question is going to be my last question. We're going to start with Kamari and work our way down on the Spalding side, and then go to Haryana and work our way this way, okay? And it's about your team, right? We talked about you as individuals. Now I want you to tell me, what is the team's biggest strength and why? And so we'll start with Kamari.
Our biggest strength on the team is our defense. They are very hard-working defense players.
That's great. Kayla, what's your team's biggest strength and why?
I'm going to go off of what Kamari said. Yes, our defense, that is our biggest strength on the field.
Great. Micah?
As they said, defense, but also speed as well, and like the athleticism on the team as well.
Great. So we'll go over here to Haryana to talk about your team's biggest strength and why.
Team biggest strength is having confidence, most definitely, because like we can put our mind to anything, we just do it.
Great. Zaya?
My team's biggest strength is that we can communicate and work together. So if we have a problem, we can get it resolved ASAP. We can always depend on each other for anything that happens.
That's great. Kyla?
My team's biggest strength is we stick together and like to have fun on the field. So overall, like over the summer and stuff, we build a bond. So if we need somebody to do something, we know like this person gonna be able to do it. So we keep confidence into each other.
Hey, that's great. We're going to take some questions from our local media from Mr. Shivers with the Griffin Daily News now.
Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen. I got an opportunity to see both of you guys play this year, so I'm just going to piggyback on some questions that I've seen and some of y'all's strengths and weaknesses, basically. Micaiah, I got a chance to see you play softball as well as flag football, and so far you have accomplished a lot as a freshman. You have been great in both sports. So my question to you is, what motivates you and give you a drive?
What motivates me, like, I don't know, I just keep going, cause like if I know I fail and like I let people down, so I just keep going, and I don't want to fail nobody. I want to
Good job. Next question is for Zaya. Zaya, you got some world-class speed from what I've seen. So my question to you is, when you get the ball, what do you think about when you're using your speed to get to where you need to go?
I think about like, oh my God, where do I go? And I just run where I see nobody going. Then I just, yeah.
Hey, that's great.
Hold on, what you do?
There you go.
Haryana, this question is for you. She's the most serious one out of the group, I guess because she's a senior. Haryana, how do you leverage being serious and getting everybody riled up and getting everybody focused and then turning back on and playing with everybody? Because I know you're a senior, you want to win, and apparently you want to go to the next level and play. So how do you balance it all?
It's hard because they funny. So, but I just try to focus on one thing at a time. Like when it's time to play, we play. When it's time to get serious, we get serious. That'd be what it is.
Coach Blunt, this is a question. Be careful how you answer it. You got some strong personalities on your team. How do you manage them?
I believe my personality is the strongest, so they can't outshine me. But no, seriously, everybody has their own individual things they bring to the team, individual personalities. I can honestly say that the girls know that I'm not a catty person. So if they are being catty, I don't know about it. Because every time I see them, we sticking together. It's us against everybody.
Coach Powell, how do you motivate your team?
Looking at it.
That's smooth, Coach. That's smooth.
A proven strategy as an ROTC instructor. We're able to just look at them like our mama used to do in the old days. Just look at them. They know what they need to do. But no, seriously, the team that I have, though, we have, like Coach Blunt team as well, we have several different I tend to let them lead from the front as well. The motivation that the team gets. It doesn't. I got key players on the team. I let them know where we at, how the vibe of the practice is going, what we need to do to change it. Try to let them lead as players to develop this team, because sooner or later, Coach Powell here. So I'm trying to build leaders as we move forward. Like I said, this is a new sport, and we're trying to leave a lasting legacy at Spalding High School with flag football.
Thank you, Coach. Next question is for Ms. Barkley. Ms. Barkley, I know you mentioned earlier defense is the strength on the team. As a key defender on the team, what do you look for when you're playing defense from the opposition?
I don't.
Okay, cancel that. What do you like most about playing flag football?
I like running down the field and like how we win it. I just love scoring and grabbing the flags and just having fun.
Next question is for Kyla. Kyla, what's it like being a leader on the team?
Say that again.
What's it like being a leader on the team?
Being a leader, it helps me improve my team, improve the players on the team, and giving them a good heads up.
Last question is for Makaya. Makaya, how you like playing quarterback for Spalding?
It's been a little hard, but since this is my first time playing quarterback, but the more times that I play, the more that I improve and the more I'm able to execute the plays. It's been hard at first because I didn't even have faith in myself, but as always, I put God first, and He kind of led me through some things and helped me get the team where they need to be.
Hey, we appreciate the flag football programs from Spalding and Griffin being with us, and wish you guys the best of luck the remainder of the season. And so, coaches, right before we go, if you'll just tell us the next time we can catch you at Memorial Stadium. I think, Coach Blunt, y'all have got a game tomorrow. Is that correct?
Yes, we have a game tomorrow at 6 versus Southwest DeKalb and 8 versus Stars Mill.
Great, great. And Coach Powell, the next time we can catch you guys here, is that next week?
Other than that, 11-7 next week. We'll have 2 games next week and catch us then.
Great. We appreciate y'all, and best of luck, ladies, as you move forward this year. That's it for our flag football team. Let's give them a hand. We're going to take a picture now if y'all come on up. And as we do that, if the girls basketball coaches and athletes will move into our little prep room for a brief briefing, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back with the girls basketball programs from Griffin High School and Spalding High School as we continue our Winter Sports Media Day. And we'll start with some questions for our coaches and then go to questions from our student athletes and follow it up with questions from our local media affiliates. And so we'll start first with Coach Johnson from Griffin High. Coach, will you introduce yourself and talk to us, introduce the student athletes you brought with us today, tell us their positions and their grade levels.
Yes, my name is Roy Johnson. I am the head girls coach at Griffin High School. Today I brought two of my seniors and probably my captains. Number 3, Zamiah Hosley, who is my point guard and returning starter, and also number 15, Casey Smikes. She'll be a wing and a forward, who's also my other returning starter.
Great. Thanks, Coach Johnson. And Coach Pope, Spalding High School, if you'll tell us about yourself, introduce yourself and the student athletes' positions and grade levels.
Hi, my name is Shantae Pope. I got with me my senior, Jayla Morgan, my junior, Michaela Wright, and then my other senior, Cedriana Evans.
Thanks, coaches. First question is going to start with Coach Johnson and then go to Coach Pope. And that's talk to us about this season, right? What are you most looking forward to this season? So, Coach Johnson, obviously, great year last year. You won the state championship. What's motivating you? What are you looking forward to coming into this next school year, next season?
Well, I'm very excited about this season because I want these young ladies, or this group of young ladies, to have their own identity. You know, of course, you know, we did have a nice group of seniors that left, and they leave a big shadow over them. But I want them to go out and get their own accolades and do the best that they can as a group and see how things work out. You know, so I'll just be proud of what these young ladies do individually, and then as a team, what we can do.
It's great. Coach Pope, you got a program on the rise. It's shown a lot of improvement. Talk to us about this season. What are you really looking forward to as we move forward?
The growth from last season to this season, the girls competing, and I'm big on this thing called "We is greater than me." So I want the girls to be like, "We is greater than me" as a team, as a family. I want them to remember that, hey, if nobody got my back, my sisters got my back. So we're focusing on this year, we is greater than me.
Love that. And Coach Pope, we'll stay with you for this next question, and then it'll go to Coach Johnson. And talk to us about practice. How are you crafting your practice schedule to prep for your non-region and then region play coming up?
For practice, we've been lifting weights since February 28th after our season. So we're just focusing on getting stronger, quicker, faster, and then we're focusing on defense as well. I'm not too worried about offense, but defense wins games, so we're more focused on defense, pressing, all over the place, just jumping around.
Coach Johnson, following up with that, you've got to replace a number of starters, right? So how are you focused on practice to prep for the games that you're going to face?
Well, early on, it's a lot of teaching. You know, teaching them the things that we want to be done. We have a lot of new young ladies, and I was asking Coach, did they get a lot of new young ladies? Like, it's been an influx of girls basketball players here in Griffin Spalding. So we have a lot that we have to teach early on, so that way, once we start playing the games, that everybody understands what to do, and they're doing the best that they can. But right now, again, our focus is always going to be on the defensive side of the ball. Like Coach said, that's what wins you championships. You got to play defense, and then we'll, you know, add on the skills in workouts or individual sessions, and then we'll put it all together offensively. But the main thing is working on together as a defense.
Great. This next question will go to Coach Johnson first, and then to Coach Pope. And tell us, what key things are you looking for this season that shows that your student athletes are buying in and progressing like you want them to? So, Coach Johnson.
Well, it all started during the summer. You know, we had a great time. We went down to Middle Georgia College for team camp, and we had an opportunity. We got away from the family. We got away from our home and our regular environments and spent time together, and able to just sit and eat and talk and have a good time, you know, and that we learned more about each other. You know, they got to see me and my assistant coaches outside of being in the school, and learn that, you know, we really care about them. And I think that this will definitely help us with our growth as a team. You know, I think our communication has gotten a lot better with the young ladies. You know, they're willing to come in, Coach, I can't make this because I got to do this, or Coach, I'm a little busy with homework. Can I do that? And we're able to communicate that and get things done. So I'm very proud of what we've done, work starting in the summer.
It's great. Coach Pope, same question. Talk to us about the key things you're looking for from your student athletes.
Mainly my seniors' leadership across the board, them trying to focus on the younger girls, get them in the right position to help them. So it's more leadership this year, more communication, more helping my teammate out. So leadership is going to be really big this year.
Great, great. This last question is for both coaches. We'll start with Coach Pope and then go with Coach Johnson, and that's about success, right? Both of you are running programs that have had recent success, right? We've got, a Spalding program that had a state championship the last 5 years. You got a Griffin program coming off a state championship. Girls basketball is important to our community, and there are a lot of people that invest in it or are interested in it. We've got a lot of student athletes that love basketball, but that's external, and people define your seasons in a lot of different ways, but we want to hear from you. What makes Coach Pope a successful Spalding girls basketball season this year in your eyes?
First, getting it done in the classroom. You're a student before you're an athlete. So we focus on making the right grades, getting to class on time. I'm very disciplined at the school. So I check for tardiness, getting to class on time. Also, just having that family atmosphere in the building. But my success for this year is just making sure they got their grades, and me as a coach preparing them for the next level, because I know what it takes to get to the next level and playing on the next level. So my thing right now is preparing them to be 15 minutes early, 20 minutes early, because I know in college you're going to have to be a certain place 20, 30 minutes early. So right now just preparing them for college.
That's great. Coach Johnson, same question, coming off, right, a magical run, a great season that we're all super proud of, right? But what does success look like for you this year, right? And what would make you at the end of the year say, you know what, that was a successful season?
Well, Coach Pope said, just reminded me of something. What do they say? To be early or to be on time is to be late. I agree with her. We definitely, in the building is the first thing. The young ladies know that it's very important to act right in the building. You can't just turn it on in the basketball court. It has to be something that you do throughout the day. And we had some parameters set last year that early on, some tried to test the metal, but by the end of the year, they understood. Coach says, be at class on time, you better be at class. I'm like, Coach, I'm walking the halls. I'll pop up in your classroom. They're like, where you coming from? Because I want to make sure you're where you're supposed to be. But the success for this team, again, the goal is always for each senior class to have the opportunity to go to the next level, whether they're going to the next level athletically or they're going to the next level academically. That's where the success is. I want them to, as I always say, get out of Griffin Spalding and have an opportunity to go live your life. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be basketball related, but just seeing different things is what I would love for them all to experience. And that's the main goal, is that they graduate, we have a successful season on the court, whether we win it all or not. It's hard to do. So, but we're going to work for it. We're going to try for it. But the end goal is my 6 seniors to graduate on time and have opportunity to go play college basketball or go to school.
Coaches, we appreciate you sharing. We're going to move to the student athletes. Before we do that, I just want to tell you that I know everybody listening heard you talk about success, heard you talk about preparation, and we didn't hear a lot about the basketball court. And I think that the basketball court shows all that work y'all do outside of the court, because everything does matter. Those little things that you preach to the girls is evident on the court as well. So we appreciate your hard work, and the academics, their GPAs reflect that, and you're holding them accountable. And know that that's a reflection of your leadership, and we appreciate y'all doing that. We're now going to go to our student athletes. We'll start with Casey and work our way down. And our first question is simple. Tell us your name, tell us your grade level, and tell us what position you play.
Hey, my name is Casey Smikes. I'm a senior and I'm a guard and a forward.
My name is Amaya Hosley. I'm a senior and I'm a point guard.
Jayla?
Name is Jayla Morgan. I'm a combo guard and I'm a senior this year.
My name is Michaela Wright. I'm a shooting guard or forward, and I'm a junior.
Oh, my name is Cedriana Evans, and I'm a forward, and I'm a senior.
Great, great. This next question, we're going to start with Cedriana and work our way back the opposite direction, okay? And that's about you as a player. Tell us, what are your strengths as a player, and how are you using these strengths to help your team be successful?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what are your strengths as a player, and how do you use those to make your team successful?
My strengths as a player is defense because defense helps wins the game.
Great. Michaela?
I think my strengths are shooting or getting points, and also like motivating, keeping my team head up.
So, Jayla?
Strength as a player is communicating and playing hard on defense just as well as offense. And to make the team more successful, just believing in Coach Pope and her coaching staff.
Zamaya?
My strengths is communication, shooting, and passing. Communication because it's new girls coming in, so I gotta be one of the big dogs, teach them and like help them understand. And passing is because I'm a pass first guard, so I'd rather get the ball and let my teammates score. Just hope they catch the ball. And shooting is because I ain't gonna say I like to score, but I will score when it's my time to score.
My strengths as a player is being very coachable and good with communication. Coachable because coach, he can put me as a guard and I can go out there and dominate. Also as a post, I can go out there and dominate on both sides of the game. And communication, as Amaya said, with the young ones, if they need a question, I'm there to help them so they won't be confused when it's their time to go on the court.
Our next question, we're going to start with Zamaya and then go to Casey and then Cedriana and work our way down, okay? And that's about practice, right? So, Zamaya, tell us about how practice is under Coach Johnson. What are you focused on improving as individual and as a team?
Practice is good. We run a lot, like a lot. So you just gotta be prepared for that. And also, he go over things that if you don't understand, you just gotta ask the question. And he'll break it down to you, regardless if you older or if you're coming in as a freshman. He gonna break it down to you and help you understand.
Casey, same question.
Yeah, off of Zamaya, we do run a lot, but we're all mentally prepared for the running. And yeah, he throws a lot of stuff out there, so it's good for us to not be comfortable because the game, you're not going to be comfortable all the time. So it's good that he throws stuff out there because he knows we're going to get it in practice, so the game will come smooth.
Great. Cedriana, so we'll start with you and then work our way down. Talk to us about under Coach Pope. Tell us how practice goes and what you guys specifically are trying to improve right now.
Practice been excellent so far. We run, we do drills and stuff, and we need to improve our communication with each other. And that's about it.
Michaela?
Practice been good so far. It's some couple challenging moments, but I know they're preparing us for the game. And right now, we're just working on improving, getting better, running faster, things like that.
Hey, Jayla, same question.
Well, to answer your first question, practice has been good so far. We're improving on competing in practices just as well as in games.
Great. So we'll start with Jayla for this next set of questions and work our way down. This next question is about your team, right? We've talked about you as individuals, but talk about your team. What is your team's biggest strength and why?
I think our team's biggest strength is us being the underdogs this season. We're excited that teams are counting us out and sleeping on us, and we're planning on waking them up this year.
There you go. Like that. Go ahead, Michaela.
Can you repeat the question? One more
Yeah,
time?
absolutely. What's your team's biggest strength and why?
Like you said, like we was a little down, but so we're working on getting back up or whatever. But I think that our biggest strength is probably us motivating each other, keep each other going throughout times or whatever, and working and just defensive wise, getting better at that.
Great. Cedriana?
Our team biggest strength is defense because like we are like small, so like defense is like the best.
That's great. That's great. So we'll do the same question to Casey and then to Zamaya. What is your team's biggest strength and why?
I say our team biggest strength is we're very competitive. We're also little this year, so they're gonna think they can just baby us, but that's not gonna happen. We're very competitive. We're gonna compete, and yeah.
Our team biggest strength is our bond. Like we have a good connection on and off the court. Like if one of our teammates have a problem off the court, they can easily text one of us and we'll help them do it all. And on the court, we always there for each other, like no matter what.
That's great. We're going to take some local media questions.
All right. First thing I want to say is the biggest thing that I hear before I came to Griffin was the basketball program, the girls' basketball program. And just to piggyback on what Bill said, both of you guys have won state championships. Like looking at it from the outside in, but girls' basketball is way bigger than football. So just so y'all know, in my eyes, because that's what I always hear, and I'm not from around here. So I just want to say that's a big testimonial to what you guys are what you ladies and guys are doing. So, so with that being said, my first question is for Casey. Casey, how do you feel about the team? You was a part of the state championship run last year. How do you feel about the team this year?
I feel very good about our team this year. Yes, we lost some good players, but we also gained some. So I feel like we do have a chance to go get another ring this year.
Okay. This question is for Zamaya. Zamaya, I know you got billboards up. You've been on GPBS, all those things. So with all that being said, I know a lot of teams going to probably try to double team you, triple team you. How are you going into the season like mentally prepared for all the attention that you're going to be receiving from opposing teams on the court?
Mentally, I think I'm gonna be good. Like coming in my freshman year, mentally I wasn't really good. Like I wouldn't say I'm not a quitter, but I just be down on myself on mistakes and stuff. But as a senior and growing up and experiencing and have a lot of experience, then my mentally is good now. So I'm mentally prepared for those situations, and also I can give my teammates the ball and they can go and score for me.
Oh yeah, you ready? My next question for Coach Johnson. One of the things I admire about you, Coach Johnson, is the number of student athletes you've been able to help get into college. What can you attribute to that success in getting the student athletes to college?
A lot of it is relationships. Also, it's just being able to put young ladies out there. Sometimes everybody has that goal of being that D1 athlete and you're getting everything. But at the end of the day, you got to go where somebody wants you. So I'm just going to put my student athletes out there to say, hey, I have a student athlete here. First of all, she's good in the classroom, and she can also play the sport. Can you come take a look? Or here's some film to take a look. And then after a while, people have said, oh, we really trust what you're doing with your young ladies. And so that's why they're having those opportunities, and I just appreciate that because, again, I have another group that I'm saying, hey, they can come and help you out. Nobody has to be the star, but as long as they can come in and be a cog and they get that opportunity, that's what I would love for them to have.
Coach Pope, this question is for you. I know one of the young ladies mentioned that you guys don't have a lot of size going into the season. How are you planning on eliminate some of those challenges that you guys might have in regards to size?
Being quicker, faster, and jumping all over the place. We gonna press. We run a lot. We're gonna press. I'm gonna put my fastest girls out there. We're gonna press. We're gonna turn it over, lay it up. That's my vision. We pressing, press, press, press. So with us pressing, we're gonna have to be in shape. So that's why we gotta be quicker, faster, and stronger.
Thank you, Coach Pope. Next question is for Jayla. Jayla, what you looking forward to on your senior year?
Winning a lot of games this year, just competing and having fun with my girls.
Okay. Next question is for Makala. Makala, what do you bring to the team in regards to your strengths, such as scoring, rebounding, passing, things of that nature?
I think just helping, like, to help us win games, simple thing like that.
Last question is for Sariana. I guess you've probably been in the program for 4 years, the whole 4 years? Okay, so my question to you is, what's the biggest difference from your freshman year into your senior year?
I'm improving my game.
Thank y'all.
Hey, great job, ladies. We're looking forward to a great season. Before we go, Coach Johnson, Coach Pope, we know scrimmages are coming up in the next, week and a half. Tell us the next time or the first time we can catch you guys on the court here at either Spalding High or Griffin High.
We play next Wednesday in Macon. We play Northside, so at 5:30 next Wednesday.
Awesome. Great. Coach Johnson?
We're next Tuesday, the 7th, at Griffin. We play veterans at Griffin.
All right, ladies, thank you for your time. You did a great job, and we're looking forward to some great basketball on the court from both of y'all, and best of luck this season. We're going to take y'all's picture, and then we'll transition into the boys. We appreciate everybody sticking with us and apologize for the technical issues with the live stream earlier. We're glad we've got all those corrected for the two basketball presentations. We're now moving into the boys basketball section, which will be our last sport of the evening. We're joined by the boys basketball programs from Griffin High and Spalding High to discuss their upcoming season. First set of questions will be to our coaches, and then we'll go to our student athletes. And then at the end, we'll have a time for some of our local media to ask any follow-up questions. And so first, we'll start with Coach Moore, Griffin High. If you'll introduce yourself and tell us about the student athletes you brought with you today, including their grade level and position.
I'm Coach Moore, Griffin High School boys basketball coach. To my near right, I have Damari Bailey, sophomore point guard. I have Kenneth Henry. He's a senior this year. He's a small forward. And I have Corey Furlow, who's also a senior and wing forward as well.
Great, and we'll go with Coach West, Spalding High School. If you'll introduce yourself, tell us about the student athletes you brought with us today, including their grade and position.
I'm Coach Monte West, and with me I have Kurt Clark. He's a guard. In the middle, Xavier Phillips. He's a wing. And then I have Said Evans. He's a guard also.
Great. And our first question for the coaches, we'll start with Coach West and then go to Coach Moore, and that's about this season. Tryouts just happened. We got scrimmages coming up next week, right? But what are you most looking forward to as a coach for this upcoming season?
This season, mostly I'm looking forward to the hard work that these guys have put in. I have 3 seniors up here. The 4 years, the grind, the weight room, the practices. I'm excited about them coming out their senior year and just putting it all on the floor.
Coach Moore?
Well, I'm looking to having a fun season. I tell the guys the last thing we tell them in the huddles to have fun. I want this to be a memorable season for my seniors. I want them to learn something about their teammates other than just basketball. We spent the last 4 months working out together, but I like for them to do things together outside of basketball, just to know. So I tell them all the time, they're going to be brothers for the rest of their lives.
Great. And Coach, you talked about you've been working out for a while, right? So let's talk, Coach Moore. Talk to us about practice, right? How do you set up practice? Basketball is kind of unique in that you basically have your tryouts, you got a week, maybe 2, and then y'all start playing. And it's a grind, I know, this season, your non-region schedule, your region schedule. So how do you set up your practices to prep for the games that you're going to face?
My practices are based off of the week. If we have a game on Tuesday and we practice on Mondays, we usually go hard on Mondays. Tuesday, we ready for the game. I like to have their legs. Wednesdays, we come and watch film, break film down. After we break film down, we come into the gym and we walk through some different things, some different scenarios, and then we'll have a live practice. The day before the game is usually just prepping for the game. I don't like to practice hard. We practice hard, they run every day. They've been running every day since, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks before the season was over, we started running. So they run 5 days a week. So now it's basically just getting prepared to basketball shape. They lift weights every day. So, we just basically prepare practices. If where I practice. Just, keeping the legs fresh, their minds in tune on what they need to do, and just having fun.
That's great. Coach West, same question, right? How do you prep your practice schedule? How do you set up your practices to make your student athletes successful?
Well, right now, I'm missing a lot of my older guys, my key guys, because they're in the middle of football season. So I have a lot of young guys. Xavier is with us now. He's not a football player. So right now we're doing a lot of teaching, a lot of team bonding, team building, getting them used to the high school grind. So we're just putting a lot of work in and just trying to get better and just trying to get them ready for next week. A lot of them, it's their first high school basketball game, so that's what we're working on.
Great. We'll stay with Coach West. Tell us what key things you're looking for this season for Spalding High Jaguar student athlete? What do you look for from your guys?
This year, we're looking for just playing at a high competitive level, you know, having fun, making memories, and just getting them ready for that next level in life, whether it's, you know, basketball, the workforce, or, you know, going to college.
Hey, great. Coach Moore, same question, right? What are those key things you're looking for a Griffin Bear basketball player?
I want to see growth as a man first throughout the season, because once, you know, for my seniors, and once it's over this year, I want to look at them and be proud and feel good that when they leave Griffin High School that they're prepared for the world, whether it's going to college, the military, or they're going into the workforce. I stay on talking about being a man and try to be an example to these young guys. But just growth, and I tell them all the time, let's have fun. Let's, like Coach West said, let's make some memories. Because this, you know, you can only live this once. This 2023 season is once. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And our last question for the coaches, we'll start with Coach Moore and then go to Coach West, is about success. All right. So as coaches, we know that, you know, a lot of times people in the stands and the people outside the program, they read the newspaper and just want to know what the score is, right? And they look at the box score, and that's how they define success. But we know as coaches, success is a lot more than those numbers, right? And there's a lot of different ways we can define it. So what, Coach Moore, would be successful for you? When you put your feet up the 1st of March next year, what is going to make you look back on the season and say, hey, that was a successful year?
Success for me would be the guys are academically at the 3.0 mark that I put for them. Secondly, they all graduate and either go to college, again, military, or out in the workforce. But that we go out and play hard every game. And if we put everything on the table, we prepare well, you know, the games will take care of themselves. That's what I call success. Wins and losses take care of themselves. You do that in practice and your preparation. So I don't, in the games, I emphasize having fun, put on a good show for the fans, and to just enjoy it.
That's right. That's right. Coach West, same question, right? So all those metrics, right? What does a successful Spalding Jaguar boys basketball season look like?
I think success for us is just at the end of the season, knowing that we left it all on the floor, knowing that we put our best foot forward, and at the end of the season, just knowing that these guys are ready for their next stage of life, you know, whatever that be.
It's great, and I appreciate you guys emphasizing that fact that, you know, we're preparing guys, young men, to graduate with a plan, not just to graduate, that they're going somewhere, they're doing something with their lives. And I know that's a big thing for athletics, right, to teach young men how to be men. And so we appreciate y'all focusing on that. We're going to talk now to the student athletes. This first question, we're going to start with Corey and work our way all the way down to Sid. And that's a softball question. Easy, guys. What's your name? What's your position? What's your grade level?
My name is Corey Furlow. I play wing and forward, and I'm in the 12th grade.
Kenneth?
My name is Kenneth Harry. I play forward, and I'm in the 12th grade. And Damari Bailey. I'm in the 10th grade, and I play guard.
Kurt?
Hey, Kurt Clark. I'm a senior, and I'm a point guard.
David?
My name is Xavier Phillips. I'm a wing, and I'm in the 12th grade.
My name is Eddie Evans. I play guard, and I'm a senior.
All right, we're going to do that reverse order for this next question. So starting with Seth Evans, working our way back down to Corey. All right, and so let's talk about your strengths as an individual. So Seth, tell us your strengths as an individual basketball player, and why does that make the team successful?
My strength is take care of the ball and be a leader of the team.
Xavier?
My strength would be shooting the ball, and the way that helps with the team's success is being able to put that extra point on the board.
Got it. Kurt?
My team's success is being the Coach West on the court.
Great. Damari?
Want to be getting to the basket and finding.
Getting to the basket. That's good. That's good. Kenneth?
Getting rebound, playing defense, and being a leader.
Great. Corey?
Mine would be also getting rebounds and playing defense and leading on and off the court.
Great. So we'll start with Damari first, and we'll work our way to the outside, and then start with Kurt and work our way to the outside. And that's about practice and preparation, right? So how's practice been so far, and what are y'all focused on improving?
Practice has been good. We probably improve on shooting good as a team and getting everybody on board. Practice been good. We've been working on everybody coming together, being one team, and playing as one.
Great. Corey?
Practice has been good. We've been working on a lot of defensive drills because we are a young team, so we're trying to get everybody on board. But most part, practice has been good, and everybody's been working hard.
Great. So we'll go to Kurt now. Kurt, talk to us about how you've been improving as a basketball player.
Haven't touched the ball since the summer, but we won Region Friday for football. So
it'll be a little transition, right?
Yeah, it'll be a transition.
That's it. That's okay. Xavier, talk to us about how you've been practicing.
Practice has been good. Right now, it's just about getting the freshmen because we're a young team right now, so it's getting them used to working and getting used to working out and all that.
Practice been good. We just been running a lot, trying to get in shape.
All right, we're going to talk now about your team, right? We talked about y'all as individuals. So we'll start with Kurt, work our way out, and then Damari, work our way out after. First to the Spalding side, talk about your team. What's the biggest strength of Spalding Jaguars boys basketball, and why?
Biggest strength is moving the ball, getting an open shot, getting to the open man, and running up and down the court.
Great. Xavier?
You repeat the question?
Yeah, what's your team's biggest strength?
I think our team's biggest strength would be chemistry and like the things we do outside of basketball and team bonding.
That's great.
Our big screen is like we play hard together. And play a team ball.
That's good. Playing team ball, I like it. Damari?
Our team's strength would be beating teams in transition and being able to run the floor.
Ken?
Our team's biggest strength playing defense and moving the ball quick.
Corey?
Our team strength would be probably shooting because we get a lot of shots up during the week.
Y'all got a lot of strengths. I like it. Everybody got a little different take on what the team's good at. That's well-rounded. We're going to go to our local media, and so let Mr. Shivers from Griffin Daily News ask a couple questions now.
Okay, I'll start with Corey. Corey, how's the recruiting process been going for you?
To be honest, it's been going well. I've been having a lot of college interest. I haven't got no offers or anything, but more towards the season, a lot of colleges are supposed to be coming out and watching our games. So depending on how that goes, I should be ending the season with a lot of offers.
Next question is for Kenneth. Kenneth, what do you bring to the team as far as your skill set?
I bring defense. I bring shooting. I bring a lot of stuff to the team.
Next question is for Damari. I know you're the quarterback of the team. What goes into your mind when you get the ball?
Probably being able to find an open teammate and looking to score.
All right, Coach Moore, what are you most excited for about the season?
Get it started. Every day, they ask, the first question they ask me, Coach, we got to run today. And they already know the answer. What's the answer to that? Yes, you're going to run. So I'm just ready to get it started because I know they're tired of me pounding them. So I'm just ready to get it started and let them show what they've been working hard for.
Coach West, you got Kurt and you got Sid up here, two people on the football team. How are you handling the team now that you got a lot of football players still playing football right now? Because it pretty much looked like they're about to go into a deep run.
With a situation like that, it's great for our younger guys. Like I said, this is probably the most freshmen that I've kept. I got about 11 or 12 freshmen, and I have about 4 or 5 that's going to dress varsity. So we have a game next Wednesday. I got 2 freshmen starting, so it's good for them to get those minutes in early. Get those minutes in early. Get some reps, and them being able to contribute down the line when we do get everybody back. That just increase our depth. So it'll be good for them to get those minutes in.
Next question is for Kurt. Kurt, probably all-state quarterback. Just won a region championship. Preseason, third team. Going into basketball season, once you get done with football season, how are you pretty much handling all the preseason success and postseason success as you go along on your senior year?
Say it again. You said a lot.
How are you handling all the pressure that's coming with being Kurt Clark with everything that's going on around you?
Just play. I don't know. I don't handle pressure. I mean, I handle pressure, but like Friday when Periscope, we had like a minute and 50, 11 o'clock. Just smile, do my thing.
Xavier, I got a chance to see you this summer in the summer league over there at Fairmont. You got a nice jump shot. What's some of the things you do to keep your jump shot accurate?
I would say like in practice and at home, form shooting, and it's just consistency with it. So more consistency you have, the better your shot is.
I add something to that. I will say about Zay. Zay will text me like the night before. He was like, "Coach, what time you getting to the school?" He will beat me to the school to get shots up. So I will say that Zay has put in the work. He has got his shots up. Like he will be there morning. I'm talking about 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning, just shooting on the shoot machine. So that's one thing that he does do. He does put the work in, and it has shown.
That's awesome, Zay. Awesome. Last question for Said. Said, how do you translate playing wide receiver for the Jaguars into playing shooting guard, point guard for the basketball team?
I'm going to say it again.
How do you translate your success as a wide receiver on the footballs to being successful on the basketball court, being a dual threat athlete?
It ain't nothing just being an athlete. It come with it. Only being an athlete.
All right, thank you.
Hey, we appreciate it. And then I know we have some other basketball athletes as well. So if we've got extra questions, we can ask them as well. We want to get everybody up here for a picture, and then just want you to know we do have some other folks and we want to get a couple more interviews. So let's give it up for the basketball teams. And let's get all the players up here. We'll get a big group shot.